Bob came in, of course. Bob Gabori, welcome to him, always. Jimmy Shine is with us. Alan's with us. August P. down there in Texas. Bill Licht in Floridori. Bob Weissman in, was it Oklahoma? Or I can't remember where you're at, Bob. Cecil Norris. Claire Poulton up there in, what is it? Not British Columbia. Can't remember the name of your town. You mention it all the time. I can't remember it, Claire. But anyways, up there in Candida. Deb Lane, John Wood down in Florida, Keith recording, Fort McMurray. Thank you, Claire. John Wood, Keith recording is with us. Good to have you, Keith recording.
Thank you.
Kevin K, Mike A, Mr. Young down there in Texas, Rick Caldwell, Success Shazam Vince, Tammy Jack, Tennessee, Indiana, right, Tennessee, excuse me. And more to come, hopefully. So, anyway, I'm going to shut up. Go ahead, Gabby.
I brought the coffee and I promised some donuts, so I hope you guys brought the donuts.
We just had my kid doesn't have any school today, my youngest, and his nephew doesn't have any school today, and they just my nephew came over just a few minutes ago, and every time he comes over, he brings donuts. So my son Kevin, who it's now 10 o'clock. He waited and waited and waited and refused to eat because he knew that his nephew was going to come. His cousin was going to come over to bring donuts, and of course, he brought over one donut for himself. So my wife just went out with the two of them, and then went back to Dunkin' Donuts to get a donut.
Oh my.
Hey, we're finally getting some Dunkin' Donuts back here in California. We haven't had them for years.
Really? Interesting. I wonder why that is.
And they went away. I forget. I read the story about it, but I just saw something in the newspaper. They were coming back to Ventura here, those stores, and they're planning on coming through up California again, but they haven't been here for years.
I know JQ's not a fan of their coffee, but I do like Dunkin' Donuts, and I believe that they're far superior to Krispy Kreme. I don't even know if the Krispy Kreme's around anymore, but man, did they make a big splash in the stock market 5 6 years ago, and then they petered. Yeah, and then they petered out like there's no tomorrow. But that's what happens, I guess.
I'll tell you the one you want to watch. The one you want to watch is Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons, a Canadian Dunkin' Donuts, if you will, but they're coming into the States. They're in northern New England now.
Yep.
And I don't know, they're coming other places. They're big, and they're going to be bigger, and they're really, really good stuff.
They are in a couple locations on the 95 belt.
Well,
hey guys, Jimmy Shine has a question there. Hey Jimmy, you can ask questions anytime. You don't have to wait till Friday. I think Keith can answer that question for you.
Let's see. I know that today is not question day, but you said something about recording, and that brought something to mind. Can you set the recording so it will not post to YouTube until you check it and make sure you want it to be posted? Absolutely, yes. There are a couple features in there. When you hit the save button to record, there's a feature that says, do you want to also upload this automatically to YouTube? And you can check that off or uncheck it. So yes, absolutely.
Also, when you're recording through the system here, and Keith's using a different system today, but when you're recording through the system, you have a choice of the output, whether you want an AVI output or a Flash FLV output.
Right. Well, I thought Flash was like when you take the raincoat off and you go streaking again. I get so confused with that.
I know. I gave that up a long time ago.
I have to tell you guys, not too many people were in the room, but JQ had his camera on earlier, and it was very dark. And I said, "Oh, it's awfully dark. I can hardly see you." And he referred to himself as Dark Vader. And I have to hand it to you. That was one of the funniest things you've ever said to me. There it is, Dark Vader.
And Darlene.
Give me a good shot of my gut.
Wow.
Yeah, put it up a little higher. There you go. Perfect.
know, I hate it. I look at my, it looks like I'm missing a front tooth or a big gap in the middle of my teeth. There's no gap there. I got a discolored tooth, I guess. I don't know. Anyway.
Maybe that's what it is. Hello, Darlene. Thanks for joining us.
Well, now you've seen me and I've ruined your breakfast. Get rid of me.
Get rid of me.
Stay on there, you goofball.
Okay, so anyway, let me give you, since there's some more people in the room, Darlene just joined us, and I thank you, Darlene. That's great. I haven't seen you in a while. I want to give you some the good news, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right. So
I'll be right back.
Sure, JC. As you guys know, we're really working hard to get Vercast up and running, this room here, and we're really working hard to get our autoresponder back up and running the way that it was. And then I'm going to talk about SMS Dominator in a second too. With regard to Vercast, the worst thing that I have is my hands are tied. I have no control over somebody installing a piece of software onto my dedicated server, and I can't control when they do it. I've been told on several occasions that they're going to do it within the next 2 days, within the next 48 hours, and that's been over 10 days, and it's disappointing, yes, but I just can't control it, so I'm not going to get angry over it, but I am trying to do everything I possibly can to encourage them to get this install done. So here's the situation. Consider JQ and I as owners, and we're going to this other person who's an owner of his business, and this other person is going to his programmers to get his programmers to install onto our dedicated server. So it's not just me going to one person to ask them to do it. It's kind of like a, what do they call that? Secondhand love or something. But there's no love right there. Yeah, it's outsource to outsource, you know, a chain reaction, right? In any case, I know it's going to be done. I was told that it's going to be done on Saturday. I was told that the install is going to be done today. If that's true, I'm hoping that before the end of this week, we'll be able to open up the doors to Vercast, at least to everybody, at least to the initial 10 people that are founders and got in early, and we'll do some training. That being said, I am traveling to Florida on Friday afternoon. However, it's going to be a working vacation for me. There are going to be some times where I'll be driving and I won't be able to do much, but I do plan on being at my vacation house and hanging there. But I do plan on doing some work, so I will be available. It's not going to be. I'm not going to be on a cruise and totally MIA. Yeah, get away from the snow. Absolutely. So our first leg is we're driving to Nashville, Tennessee, and we're going to spend a couple days there because my daughter is in love with Taylor Swift and in love with all those country music that I'm not. But I'm going to play nice, and I'm going to try to make it as wonderful as possible as I can for my 12-year-old daughter. The things we do for our kids, the sacrifices we make, listening to country music that you don't like. I'm going to be stopping. I'm going to be in Daytona Beach. I don't know where Delray is, John. How far away is Delray from Daytona? All I can say is I'm definitely going to be busy because I've got kids and wife and stuff like that. Oh yeah, no, I'm not going to be there. That's like the other way. It's like 3 hours away, I think, isn't it? Yeah, ain't gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. All right. So in any case, that's what's going on with Vercast, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed and praying that we can get this installed today, so that we can at least get everybody up and running that has already paid for the service by Friday. All right, or by Thursday. You responder. I wish I had a chart where I could show you guys what's going on. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can do this on whiteboard because I have not done this yet. And if you guys, actually, Gabby, you're here. I know you are.
I'm back.
I'm gonna go to whiteboard, JQ, and I've not done this yet. use the whiteboard system. I think they call it, I think it's called flip chart. Can you guys see that?
Yes.
Great. Okay. So what I'm going to try to do here, if I can get the, I'm going to try to explain how. Let me go to another page. I'm going to try to, I guess what I'm going to try to do is explain how our system works in uResponder with what's called indexing. There's indexing inside a database. You know what? I'm just going to try to verbally explain it, and if you guys don't understand it, let me know, JQ. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So inside our database right now, as it stands with uResponder, this is where the problem lies, and I'll tell you how we're going to fix it. There's one huge database right now inside uResponder, and if JQ creates a campaign, and when he signs up 100 people over a 2-month period of time, every person is given an ID. So again, JQ is a customer of uResponder, and he sets up a campaign called Widget 101. And he creates an opt-in page, says sign up to my Widget 101 and get this great free gift. Well, today Gabby signs up. Tomorrow Claire signs up. A week from now, what's that? Thank you. A week from now I sign up. And we're all given codes. Now at the same time, while JQ as a customer is signing up customers for himself, we'll call JQ a user. We'll call these people that sign up a customer. So JQ is a user of the product, and he signs up these customers. I'm a user of the product, and I sign up customers under a different campaign. Deb Lane does the same thing. She's a user of the product, and she signs up customers. So when JQ is signing up a customer today, and that customer is given an ID of number 1, and Deb signs up somebody and is given an ID of number 2, and I'm given an ID of number 3, my customers. JQ signs up his second customer, and that customer is given an ID of number 4. So he's got 2 customers in his database called ID number 1 and ID number 4. Now, as our system grows, and we right now have over 100,000 names in our system, which means we have over 100,000 ID codes. When JQ first signed up a customer today, or last week, that customer may have been ID number 1, and when he signs up his second customer, that second customer is ID number 100,000. When JQ sends out an email to those 2 customers, our current indexing system goes through and says, okay, let's find all the IDs under JQ Adams that we need to send out to email. And what the system does today is that it starts with ID number 1, and it scrolls through all 100,000 IDs to find number 100,000 ID number, and sends out that email. The problem with that is it's very, very, very time consuming to do that, and it creates what I believe is called Stack Overflow. And when you have a Stack Overflow, when it's trying to send out email, it's also trying to index at the same time, and it keeps on going around and around and around, and the emails don't get out properly. Now, if JQ imported 100 names, and they were from ID 1 to ID 100, that would not be a problem. But that's not how autoresponders work. They just don't. People don't sign up people that way. ID numbers go all over the place. So what we need to do, and what's being done as of Friday, is we're re-indexing the database so that we have additional tables. And I know this is kind of getting a little deep because it's deep for me. So JQ as a user is going to have a whole new table unto himself. And yay! And JQ's campaigns are also going to have a subtable unto themselves. So creating these subtables will eliminate the system from searching from ID code number 1 to ID code number 100,000. And that way we'll avoid any stack overflows. So that database needs to be recreated in order for us to do the right job for you guys. And that's where the delay is. Now, my programmer is pretty convinced that he's going to be able to get this done in 3 or 4 days. And I told him, I'm like, listen, I'm going away and I'm going to be communicating with you, but while I'm away, but we're going to have a real serious true launch date so that it will work. So when I get back, Tuesday, I believe it's Tuesday, February 26th, that's when we're going to reopen uResponder. And I wish we had it open today and we could do everything, but we just can't do it all until February 26th when I'm back and I'm here full time. Now, that day actually happens to be my mother's birthday. So she would have been 82. So if you guys have any questions about the launch date of uResponder, that's the day when we're going to reopen it up to everybody in this room again so that you have full access to it. It's going to be much better. It's going to be much faster, much cleaner, higher deliverability. And that's that. Did you understand that, guys? Was that confusing? What do you think, JQ?
I think that makes sense to me.
Okay.
I'm kind of surprised, though, really, that the original author of the script didn't do that, because I remember I told you when I looked at that database how big it gets, how quickly, and I would have thought that they would have had it done. Actually, what I would have liked to have seen is it broken up into multiple databases. But anyway.
Oh yeah, and that's what's being done. It's, when I say subtable, I mean I'm talking English language, not programming language. So it may be multiple databases. It probably is. It's going to be separate databases. So subtables, sub-databases. I guess that's the best way to explain it. But it is going to be done February 26th, 2013. Thank you. So that's a Tuesday, I believe.
Programmer knows SQL, huh? MySQL?
Oh, yeah. Dilshad, our programmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he knows. He's MySQL and PHP and Java is his expertise.
Well, that's great.
That's his thing.
Great.
Yeah.
I've done some SQL programming, but not at that level. But,
yeah, he's pretty
anyways,
good. I guess it's kind of like partitioning your hard drive. Absolutely, Claire. It makes it run more efficiently. And the reason why we really need to do that is not only are we going to get bigger. So imagine we launched, and all of a sudden, a week from now, we have 1 million IDs, and I only want to send out 5 emails, and the 5 email numbers are ID number 1, 6, 100,000, 500,000, and 1 million. It will take so long to find those IDs, and the email system is trying to push out the email out, and it can't because it hasn't found all the IDs left yet, and so it keeps on whirring around, and it gets ugly. So yeah, we need to make it more efficient, and at least we know what the problem is, we know how to solve the problem, and it's now being solved. Okay, so that's we get uResponder, we get Vercast done, and I think that's it for now. And JQ, if you want, I'd like you to talk more about butterfly marketing. And one of the things that I'd like to do on Wednesday is show you some things that we've done to tweak butterfly marketing email deliverability. So I know I had a good conversation with Darlene Sartor on Friday, and she had mentioned that she uses butterfly marketing, and she's had a problem with email deliverability. And it's true, butterfly marketing does not have the best email deliverability because of the way that they've got this called mail function. And our programmer Dilshad did modify our butterfly marketing script to use a current version of a PHP mail system built inside butterfly marketing. So that's one thing that I'll see if I can get that script so I can give it to you guys, because it's important to have that. You there, JQ?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay.
I'll tell you what,
Well,
let me just take a minute because Claire mentioned something here about partitioning a hard drive to make it run more efficiently. For those of you who aren't aware of it, you can do that. What it amounts to is dividing your one hard drive up into multiple virtual hard drives. So if you've got one hard drive is known as drive C, you can partition that. Let's say you can make it into two partitions, equal size. Well, now you'd have drive C and then drive D, right? And you can use them like that. And as far as the operating system is concerned, it's two completely different hard drives. But I want to show you something here so you understand. I'm going to use the whiteboard too, Keith, just a second here. Let's see how this works.
I just clicked the wrong buttons, and it was hard for me to try to explain while I was driving. You know, I can't chew and walk at the same time, and I think that's what happened to me.
All right. No, but this is what I'm going to show. What I'm going to show them is nothing. It's much easier to depict on a flip chart or a whiteboard than what you were trying to explain.
Give it a
regarding your disk drive, just so you give you an idea of what's happening in there. All right, whoops, come on. I'm trying to get the pencil here.
You did get the pencil. I can see a pencil mark.
I know, but I want to. Lips. Let me do it. Let me do it this way. All right. All right. This is. Think about this as your disk drive. This is one disk inside. Now, a typical hard drive has a stack of disks, one on top of the other. Like I don't know if you guys remember what a record is. You know, a vinyl record.
Yeah.
That used to be the big thing, or like a CD, Okay. Well, your hard drive might have I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these stacked one on top of the other, and then what you've got is got your what's called the read-write heads, and these guys are mounted on a mechanism outside the system here that automatically moves those read-write heads in and out. They just go on a straight line basically, or actually on an arc because of the way it works, but they go on an arc and to locate the data. Now your data is written. I'm not going to see it. I'm just using my cursor. I hope you can on the hard drive in concentric circles. Okay, those are called your tracks. Right? Concentric circles, and then you've got this. You've got the disk is broken up. Come on. I hate this thing when it does this. The disk is broken up into well, let me
Your human error?
Yes. Let me get rid of that guy. Whoops. The disk is broken up into a series what are called sectors, and think of them as a slice of pie. There's a whole bunch of them. I don't remember how many. There's hundreds of them. And what happens is when the system writes to the hard drive, the read-write heads move onto the disk area and look for the first opening where they can write, and that's where they write it. And then if they're within a sector, now if they come up to the adjacent sector and there's some data written in that sector already, the read-write heads move to a different location to find the next possible place where they can write. And they keep doing this until they've written all the data down. Now, that means that you could have one file, if you will, that's got part of the file written towards the outer edge of the disk, part of it written around the middle of the disk, and part of it written around towards the center of the disk. Okay.
And JQ, that's exactly what we're talking about with the indexing with this database.
Exactly.
Basically, you know.
And on top of this, you've got a stack of platters here that are being accessed all at the same time. Now, what happens is that to fetch that data, your read-write heads have to move in. Now, your transmission of electronic data is almost instantaneous. All right, it travels at the speed of light. Okay, it's almost instantaneous. But the movement of your read-write heads, although it's very quick, is relatively speaking, it's really doggy. It is really pokey compared with the, actual data transmission. So what happens is you lose efficiency, you lose time with those read-write heads having to go in and out, in and out, in and out, back and forth, trying to pick up all this data. Okay, and that's what slows it down. Sometimes if you listen to your hard drive, you put your ear close, and when it's doing something, you will actually hear it going buzzing, and what you're hearing is the read-write heads moving in and out, locating this data. Okay, now if you defragment your disk, you should do this every now and then. What it does is it takes all those files that are broken up and scattered all over the disk, and it arranges them together in contiguous pieces, right next to each other, rearranging your whole disk. Now, again, after you do that, your disk will run a lot. I mean, your data operations will run a lot faster, but it's going to get screwed up again over a period. So, in other words, you want to defrag your disk periodically.
I have an idea, Jake. Q.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna take a line here, and then I'm gonna take some squiggly here. So here's some data that's written, and over here there's some more data that's written. Let me grab the pencil. There's all information that's written, and let's see if I need the pencil again. Yeah, I do. So here's all this different data that's written, what JQ is saying here. And let's say that I've got a big file that I want to save, and the file that I want to save is as long as that piece right
Line
there,
segment, right?
That line segment. So what's going to happen is that it's going to be broken down. It's going to first go into this section here, and then the rest of it is going to go into this section here. And this is basically the exact same problem that we're having with our indexing system, and it's just taking so long to get it, and it gets uglier and uglier and uglier over time. So what JQ's saying is that if you defrag your system, they'll be able to move all the squigglies in order in the appropriate manner. Does that look better, JQ, like that?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what happens. And I say on the disk itself out here, the big round circle, you've got each track. I think you've got over 1,000 tracks. I don't remember what it is. So they get smaller and smaller and smaller. But here's an interesting thing. I said that the disk was divided up into segments like a piece of pie, if you will, a whole bunch of them too. Well, if you look at it, you think of it this way: the length of the track at the outer periphery is physically much longer than the length of the track in a given segment at the inner, that's near the center. But guess what? Both of those pieces of the disk can hold exactly the same amount of data, and no more.
Interesting.
Right? Yes, it is. I thought so. All right, let me get back home here. Anyway, that's essentially more like an onion sliver, Vince says. Yeah, slivers. Yeah. Okay. Let me go into desktop sharing now. We're talking about. We were talking
Hold on
about.
Just 1 second, JQ. I'm looking. Alan says that I hear Keith, but nothing on the screen. Alan, I'm not sure what system you have. If you could, I know that you've had some problems in the past too. Are you using an Apple Mac? Are you using and what browser are you using? So are you using Windows, or are you using Apple, and what browser are you using? It really depends. It probably is a problem where you don't have the most recent Flash installed. And if you don't have the most recent Flash installed, that Safari Mac, says Alan. Okay, that's probably why, Alan. If you don't have the newest version, I believe you have to have version 10.2 of the Mac software in order for this room to work. Something like that. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but I'll give you some specs when I can, and I'll send you a Skype message on that. You may have to upgrade your software.
I want to back up just quickly on the questions up here. I noticed two things. One, Alan said that on screen all he saw was a 0 and 2 lines. Well, that's essentially what I had put on the screen. The other one is Christine said something about, what did she say there? Come on, Christine, you had a comment there. Page 1 and page 2 are unresponsive. Wonder what that is for. Other than that, I hear both JQ and Keith, but have a blank screen all through. First off, I don't know what you mean by page 1 and page 2.
Page 1 and page 2 means that there are multiple pages. We can. It's kind of like a flip chart, so that if JQ wants to,
that.
yeah.
Right.
If you want to have, and maybe it's possible that some people are on page 1, I guess, when they're looking at it.
All right. Well, listen, I don't want to spend a lot of time. If you guys have questions about that, you in particular, I'll go over it again some other time and try to be a little more, a little bit better explanation, a little bit better graphics for you. I find it interesting myself, but it's nothing that you really, your productivity does not hinge on it. But the biggest thing you should take away from this discussion right at the moment is that periodically you would do well to defragment your hard drive.
And I think Windows 8 does that automatically, if I'm correct. Is that right? Vince might know that answer, but I believe Windows 8 does it automatically.
I don't know about that, but anyways. Okay, let me go into desktop sharing quickly, and I'll talk about what we did Friday a little bit more. And Keith, you had a comment or two you wanted to make about that regarding butterfly marketing. Okay, so desktop sharing. We're in desktop sharing, and getting ready to go here. Still pausing. I got to get my little screen up here that says you want to do this. Yes. Okay. I got to get it. Okay, you should see my desktop now. It says desktop sharing is active, I hope.
Yep.
All right. Here is the website, the butterfly marketing site we created. Gabby, you had a question or comment?
Oh, you maximized it. Okay.
All right. This is the. I'm gonna make this full screen. Not that it's. All right. This is the website that we created with the butterfly marketing script the other day. Now, in case you think, I was thinking that this graphic was somehow or other truncated here by mistake, but it's not. That's where the graphic actually ends, okay? And this is the header graphic. And this is the location. If you want to see it on your own computer, it's bfmdemo.smsdominator.com. That's where it's installed. Now, what we did was we took this script and that I had on my hard drive, this not script, but this page, and uploaded it into the butterfly marketing, into this installation. And then I went back and did some changes. Let me see if I can get in there and show you what we did here. But by the way, this is the problem I said I was having right here with this stuff. This should be in the center. I do not know why this is doing this. All right. Now I just clicked that it all works. Now this is where I would log in as a regular member, but I want to log in as admin.
You got a commercial showing up on the bottom right hand side there. What's that?
This is something going on. I don't know what's happening.
You've downloaded something there.
Yeah, I probably got something going on, some kind of virus that I got to get rid of. I don't know. What I said, this was just enter, wasn't it? Something stupidly simple.
Enter, yes, it was there.
Yeah. Okay. Now, see how this is? Boy, this is screwed up. I don't know what happened here.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I said. Wow.
You did something with the CSS.
I didn't change anything. Well, we'll see what happens here. But anyways, what we did, by the way, guys, this should all be located over on the left side. It should all be left justified.
Well, I know what happened, JQ. You tried to center something, and you centered that instead of centering the the menu on right.
But anyways, I don't know, but I don't really remember. We'll see. General site settings. We went in here and we said, did we make any changes here? Oh, I just put the site name in here, BFM demo, and that's all I changed on this. All right. All right. So what we did. What is this? This is members. You notice that the colors up here. This is all wrong. I don't know why this is happening. All right. This is site design. And we wanted to go into site templates, and there we are, site templates. The first thing we did was we put in the main template. All right, this is your This is your envelope, if you will. This is the one that has the header graphic, the footer graphic, and it has a hole in the middle where all the content is going to go. And this is what it looks like. The code looks like this. And then down here a little ways, it has this right here. If you see this right here, it says content in curly brackets. That location right there is where all of a given web page is going to be put. All the code is going to end up there. Now, you don't put it here, all right, but it's inserted automatically for you by the system from these other templates that we have. Now, what I did was I took
the menu. Hold on 1 second. I see where it says TD align center with 100%. I'm looking where it says TD align center with 100% strong. Then you've got menu and then close strong. Maybe all you need to do is put menu in there without all that stuff, and maybe that's why it's. Am I breaking up?
Yeah. Right there for menu.
Yeah, I was thinking that might be where the problem is.
Well, let's take out that width 100%. I know. Oh, that might be the reason right there. What's that?
Get to align left.
I took out the centering. This is, I mean, the width. This is a line equals center, and then the menu. This is, again, the menu is going to be inserted where these curly brackets are. It will be done here. And now, if you look up here, let me go back over this. The you see the body tag up here, body, and it says VLink equals whatever that color is. All right, and that was the end of the actual body tag. But with this template that I use, that we, you know, the website index page, if you will, that I had on my hard drive, the body for included all this extra code down here, which is this is activating certain things when it says what does it say, on load. Once the page is loaded, all these things are activated. Okay, and that's so it's from here to here. That is the code for the body tag for this particular site. And then there's some divisions in here, the header and the header header BG and the header. Now what those are divisions that are defined to give us the actual header graphic and the background. I'll show you that in just a second. The background, let me open it up again here, BFM demo.
Why don't you save what you did, JQ, and see if that fixed the menu.
Good idea. Let me just get this up here and we'll do it. All right. All right, here's the page. This here is the header graphic, and this color over here is the background. That's the background thing. All right, now let me just, like he said, let me save these changes because I just took out that one width 100%. And let's see if it makes any difference. I don't know if it's going to or not. And refresh this. No, it didn't make any difference. So I still got this thing is still badly out of whack. And again, this is not butterfly marketing. This is a problem with the templates itself. All right. All right, let me go back here and let me show you what happened here now. The other template that we worked with, we had two templates that we worked with. We worked with the main page template, which is what you just saw the example of here at this point. And then the next one was the home page. The home page is your sales page, your main page. When you go to the butterfly marketing site, this particular site, what you're seeing the header graphic, which is in the main template, and you're seeing this all the way down the bottom here. Header graphic, and then you're seeing this little bit of stuff down here, the footer. Okay, not the PSs or anything, but this is all part of the footer. Okay, so that's what's there. And in the main template, and then in the home page template, if you notice here, there's at the top of this page, there's no body, there's no HTML or head or any of that tags. I mean, it begins right here with div, content background, content div ID is content background, and There's a table row, carriage return, and then content, and are you finding yourself working too hard for your blog, etc. And
Yes.
that, yeah, there it is right there. Are you finding yourself working too hard for your blog, etc., etc., etc. And I see that. Let me take this, just show you what happens here. I put these two carriage returns in here just to see what was happening. I did it to find out if that had any effect on, or to see where that error began and ended. I'm going to save those changes. Take those two uh, carriage returns out. Go back here to the page, refresh it, and you watch this area jump up to the white line here. There it is. Okay. So again, my menu right here, this is the problem. I don't know why. I'm going to try one other thing quickly here just to show you, not to see for myself too. All right, I'm going to go back to the site template, the main site template. I'm going to go back to the main template. That's exactly what it is, the main template. What I'm going to do, I'm going to comment out the menu and see if that makes any difference for us here. All right, so I've got this. All right, here's the menu. There's a table row right here and another table row right down here, the end of the table row, right? That's one row in the contents of it. All right, so I'm going to comment that out. And the way we do that is shift, less than sign, exclamation point, double hyphen, and then we go after the end of the space, and I'm going to hit a carriage return. I don't need to, but I'm going to. And then we double hyphen and the greater than sign. Now that combination of characters is a comment. And so now the HTML will ignore this. It won't see it. Save those changes. Let's go back to the site. Now that menu is going to go away. I don't know what else is going to happen here. The menu didn't go away, but I've got this comment tag here. And yeah, whoa, yeah, no, it's crazy, isn't it?
There's going to be, I think he did something with the comment. Obviously the comment was not correct.
Well, maybe the comment was not correct. Let's go back and see. Main template.
That's something that I don't know.
Yeah, well. Oh, you know I did? You're right. You're right. You're right. I didn't hit the. Did I hit the hyphen or underscore? Hyphen, hyphen.
I think you get underscore in the other one. What do you get in the other one?
I think so too, but I'm not sure. Backspace, hyphen, hyphen. No, it looks the same. Well, let me see what happens. See if I hit the underscore by mistake. I don't think I did. Right, refresh that. No, it's still there. It's not wrecking. You know what? I'll tell you what. I know it's. I should say I know. I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, but I'm not 100% of this. Anyways, people, the problem has to do with the CSS file. I'll show you that in a minute, maybe. Let's take this guy right out of here and see what happens. Selected all that. I'm just going to hit the delete button or Control X to cut it out. All right, so now it's completely gone. And the next thing is the cell right here. There's a row and the cell and a carriage return and then the content. That all goes in there. That's that page, in other words. Save this. There shouldn't be any menu at the top now. It's gone. It's out of there. No code. Aha, there's a problem. Okay, so obviously something is wrong there. I have to put that back in, and I'll have to work on this. Maybe I'll just give up on it. I don't know.
I'll tell you what I found, JQ, when I put in the menu is that I actually put it right in the HTML right when I'm looking at the WYSIWYG of that page. I'll just put in squiggly bracket, center it, squiggly bracket, menu, close squiggly bracket, and then save it that way, and it works. And I don't know what the difference is by doing that. As
we can try that. We can try that. Very quickly though. Let's. All right. What I did here, people, I right-clicked on my screen, and I chose here view page source, and that gave me this screen right here. This is the code that's actually on this whole page. Okay. And then I'm going to click on this CSS butterfly marketing, butterfly.css. All right, this is the CSS file for this thing. All right, and it's got all these various commands in there for the heading and header rather, and more header information, notes widths and stuff like this. Something in here is, I believe, is what's controlling or causing things to not work the way we want them to work. And when this sort of thing happens, it can be a real bear, a real bear. Let me go back to what Keith was just saying quickly, and then we'll get out of here. You don't see all this. What were you suggesting again, Keith? Let me go to that.
What I was saying is that that I found for some reason, I don't know why it is, and it happens to do it. It is with the payment buttons and with the menu and with the content. It seems to work best when I actually use a WYSIWYG HTML editor, and inside the WYSIWYG HTML editor, while I'm editing, I just put in menu squiggly bracket close menu close squiggly bracket. Excuse me, squiggly bracket menu close squiggly bracket right in the center of where I want it to be, and then I grab the code after I do that, and it seems to work. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference is by using HTML code and doing it that way. There might be some other command that's put in by doing it that way that I'm not aware of.
Well, I just put the menu back in here. I didn't. Now I don't know what's going to happen here because I didn't put it within a cell. I didn't put it in a row or anything. Actually,
that might just solve it right there.
Well, let's see what happens very quickly.
Okay.
Save changes. Refresh the page.
If anything, I think what this shows you is that there is a lot of work to do, whether it's regardless of the membership system, there is a lot of work to do to get it to work. But once it works, there's nothing like a good membership program.
Right, exactly. I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to put it inside this next cell. TD divs.
Just put it above content.
All right, I'm going to put it right in that first row. It's, again, I don't know what's going to happen. It should said this is set it to left align, and if I can get there, if I can get rid of this white line and get this all down where it belongs, that'd be nice. Oh, it puts it in there twice. Can you imagine that? Okay, enough of that. Enough of that. Let me come back to the room and then come back home. All right, so you can see the kind of problems you can run into when you do this sort of thing, people, and it's can be real aggravating. Bob at Weissman has no SMSD news today. I'm not sure, but Keith, if you got something that you want to let them know.
I was just gonna. I'm not gonna actually go into SMSD because I'm seeing that it's already 10:49. But Claire had mentioned something about a call loop yesterday or last night to me. And Claire, what I did is I actually went to callloop.com, and I'm not sure if that's the program that it's referring to, but you know, one of the things that a lot of people forget about with SMS Dominator is that we do have voice built into our system. So if you want to send a message to a customer, and you want to send it to 100 customers, you can actually have it send out a message via voice, you can have it send out via text, and you can have it sent out via email. Right now, our email system is temporarily being repaired. But I do want to mention that we do have business cards. And if you guys want business cards, we do have access to business cards, and we will give you a business card for SMS Dominator. This is the one that we use. I have no problem you using your own business card for SMS Dominator, but if you want something that looks something like this, I can certainly get you the template for it. And here's what it says. It's hard to read, but on the camera, but it says Mobile Marketing Expert. When you need results now, and you will be able to see probably that that's like an iPhone image on the business card. And then it says your own customer rewards program in your business for free, no cost, no obligation, no catch, free 30-day trial. And it's true, they will get a free 30-day trial with us if they go with the $40 plan. So, and that's what you really want to get them to go with anyway. And then you just put in your name and the company and a telephone number. So we do have that. Is clearing your cache the same as clearing your cookies? So, what do you think, JQ? It's a good question. No, I don't know.
Cache is where your site, you can go and look at cache and you'll see that it's mostly sites as compared to cookies. Cookies are that little, so when I clear mine, almost the same, right? But I clear both cache and cookies.
My wife usually clears my cache, and I clear the cookies.
Why I don't carry any.
But I'll be here all week. So anyway, if you guys want, I do, just again, a reminder, we do have a complete, our SMS Dominator does have a complete voice system built in. And one of the best features that we have is the calling feature. You know what, JQ, I'm actually going to go in there because I want to share that feature because I absolutely love it. And I'm getting some, for some reason, I picked a toll-free number that is 1 digit off from AT&T's sales service. AT&T is like 888-954-1234, and I'm like 888-654-1234. And I've been getting over the last 2 weeks probably 1 or 2 phone calls a day from people thinking they're calling AT&T and they're really calling me. So I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is happening. Bob Weissman's like says business card. Bob, I will send it over to you.
Go
So
for
let me try to get desktop sharing started. See if I can get it going. I'm not sure if I can or not, but we'll try. Okay, it shows that it's active. You guys can see that? Yes? No? Can you see my desktop, JQ? Can you guys hear me?
Let's see. Hang on. I was waiting. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I see it all.
Okay.
Good to
Well,
me.
were you not paying attention to me once again, JQ?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, my phone. Everybody should have this, by the way. As I mentioned a lot of times, this is my page, and it has a lot more capabilities than what you see. But you should have a button that says my phone, and this is the My Phone Flows section. If you want to have a telephone number for people to call you and for people to find you, no matter where you are, this system does that for you. So here is an actual flow that I use. Here's my telephone number, 888-944-6447. And the number for AT&T is 888-644-6447. So let's go into edit this. And I want to be able to have you see the flow of this. When somebody dials that number, a message will appear that says, "Thank you for calling the best text message marketing service on," I should say, on the planet. There we go. PLANET. And then I have, please listen closely to the following options. For sales, press 1. For technical support, press 2. If you are seeking part-time or full-time employment, press 3. And I have it forwarded to one of my cell phone numbers. And as soon as it's forwarded to one of my cell phone numbers, I have a whisper text saying that I have a new sales lead. So I also have, if somebody wants to press a different number, I also have a message that says you have a new support question. So I can have different messages sent to my ear before I actually talk to that person. So I pick up the phone and a message says to me, "You have a new sales lead." I could add this to Keith. You have a new sales lead. But the idea of this is that I don't want to do that, and the reason why I don't want to do that is because eventually we're going to have a staff of people that are going to be using this phone number. And if I don't answer the phone, it might go to JQ, or it might go to my son or somebody else to answer the phone. So I don't want to say, Keith, you have a new sales lead. I just wanted to say, you have a new sales lead. Or I could do this, dude, or dudette. JQ, are you a dude or a dudette? JQ's not paying attention anymore. He's playing. You're playing a game on the other end.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
All right. So here's another greeting. Please leave your message after the tone. So let's say I don't answer the phone. It'll go to a message saying leave a message. Now, if somebody presses number 2, it says to have one of our team members contact you, please press 1. To speak to someone in the technical department, please press 2. So I could actually have somebody press number 1. If they wanted to speak to somebody in the technical department, they press 1 and they leave a message. They press 2, they go back to my cell phone number. And all this information, and I know it seems like it's kind of long, it all works and it all forwards to the right thing. So basically what I have right now is I have do step 1 for press 1 for tech, press 2 for and no, what is it? Excuse me. Press 1 for sales, press 2 for tech, press 3 for seeking part-time or full-time employment. And every single one of these numbers that they press, I have to tell the system to do something with it. And what I've told them to do basically is all of them go to my cell phone number. But all I need to do is change this to JQ's number, and they're going to call JQ. Or change it to my son's number, they're going to call my son if they press 1. And if they press 2, they'll go to me, and if they press 3, they might go to someone else. Okay? Here's the number. It's called. If they press 2, it's call forwarded to the same number. If they press 3, it's call forwarded to the same number. But I have the ability to make all sorts of changes with that. I highly recommend that any of you who are interested in having one special number that follows you wherever you go, and by the way, records the messages, that you consider playing around with this and testing it out. It does work. It's kind of cool. I really like it. And I've not seen any issues with it working. Now, last thing I want to say, it's now 10:59. Last thing I want to say is that we are right now testing what is termed as version 6 of SMS Dominator. And version 6 of our SMS Dominator will be up, running, and available, I'm going to say, by March 1st. So, and maybe before that, we will have new version 6. It's going to have a little bit different look and feel. It's going to have the same systems built in here, but it'll also have the short code available to you. So plan on that. Get ready for it. I'm pretty darn excited about it. And you guys should be too, because it's just the next step forward. So we do have everything you can possibly imagine with our systems. We're just running a little behind on our U-Responder, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, I'm pretty psyched. Okay, with that, guys, anybody have any questions about SMS Dominator that I can answer for you?
Well, we can say hi to Beth Smith.
How was that for hi? Howdy ho.
Just came in the room.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us, Beth. And what we were doing is we were just talking about SMS Dominator and how SMS Dominator works, our texting system that has voice, and it also has a, I'd like to call it, I guess, a full service phone follow me menuing system. So I guess the best thing about that phone system that I can suggest to you is that if you want to look like a big company and introduce yourself saying thank you for calling SMS Dominator. If you want to speak to a sales rep, press 1. If you want to speak to a tech rep, press 2. If you want to speak to somebody else, press 3. And when you do that, it routes to your cell phone. It does sound much more professional than if you were to just give out your cell phone number. And what I did with that is that I purchased the toll-free number to have it go that way. And again, it does record everything. James Williams from the Frozen Tundra. in Wisconsin has entered the room a little bit late. James, you're an hour late, dude. Steve
All right, whatever.
Orlovich. That's right. Steve Orlovich says pager app. I don't know what that means, Steve.
Could it be, you know, the ones that they hand out in the restaurant that buzzes? I don't know.
Oh, right. Restaurant pager app. It is done. It is working. It's inside the back office of the system. So yeah, you can totally use it. I will go over that tomorrow. So yeah, you can use it right now. It's working in the back office. You just need to know exactly how to use it. So Restaurant Pager app is working in the back office of SMS Dominator. It's not working under the name of Restaurant Pager app that we have. I do have some plans for that, but that's after we work on all the other stuff that we've been working on. Let's see. JQ, are you there?
Yes, I are.
It sounds like you're preoccupied. I get this feeling that you're looking at another website and you're totally preoccupied and not listening.
Oh, me?
Yeah, I can
No,
tell.
I'm
I can.
listening. Why? What's up? Seriously.
Nothing. I'm just saying that it's the top of the. It's the end of the hour, and I thought maybe you might want to say goodbye or something, or any amazing words.
Well, let's see. I can't think of any amazing words, but I will say goodbye. Hey, guys, as always, thanks for being here. We do appreciate it. We enjoy
Absolutely.
you spending the time with us. And we hope that somehow or other we've been able to impart a little bit of information, education to you. If not that, at least give you a smile. Come back tomorrow, same time, same station. Bring your questions. We'll try to elaborate on some things we've been going on with here. And if you've got something that you want to hear discussed, bring it up in the Q&A room. Contact Gabby, contact me, or contact Keith. Okay, and we'll be glad to go into it. All
Absolutely.
right?
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, JQ, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. And we will talk about the Restaurant Pager app. That's a great thing to discuss tomorrow.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye bye.